And welcome into another special Morning Brew with Jaffe and Razor. This one is going to be fun as well. We're going to get to Tanner Jeannot. You can see him right there if you're watching on our YouTube channel. If you're listening, you can't see him, but maybe you can hear him. Maybe you can, I don't know. Who knows? But listen, before we get to Tanner, let's quickly mention our sponsors for this special brew. Let's start with Fazenda Coffee. We're doing this in the morning. I'm already drinking my Fazenda. I'm assuming Razor's had his. I don't know. I'm on my second cup right now. FazendaCoffee.com/morning brew. Do you like coffee, Tanner? Do you like coffee?
I love coffee. I got mine right here too.
Okay, perfect. So Fazenda Coffee will be coming your way as a thank you. Get FazendaCoffee.com/morning brew. Go check it out for all things coffee and all things morning brew. Also, Sunset Lake CBD, based out of northern Vermont. This is an all-natural farm. They've got great CBD products for you and your pet. But, listen, if you're having trouble sleeping like I do, use it. They've got different type of things. Check out sunsetlakecbd.com. Use the code BREW20, BRU20. Get 20% off. Fantastic products. They'll make you feel better. Use them. Try them. Great customer service. Speaking of customer service, the place where Razor loves to go. Count on Copeland. He does. CountOnCopeland.com. Copeland, Toyota, Subaru. They've got 5 different dealerships out there. CountOnCopeland.com for the best customer service out there. And you'll have a great time dealing with their people. And lastly, this show is also made possible by Sparks, the finest at-home skate sharpener, and trusted by many of the professional teams. You can make your Sparks look like your favorite team. So make it look like the Boston Bruins. You can put the logo on there. And SparksHockey.com, the place to go. I guarantee you Tanner Jeannot has probably had his skates sharpened by Sparks at some point this year. Maybe. Are you a particular skate guy? Let's welcome you in, and we'll start with that. Are you the kind of guy that can feel the minutia of the skate blade if it's a little different or not?
Yeah, I think that's one thing where I think everyone can really feel that. There's guys that are so in tune with their gear and especially sticks, and I'm not really like that as much. But I think that your sharpening that you have, that's definitely one thing that everybody will notice a difference in if you're switching it up, or different quality of ice, I guess. And if you're usually in the colder climates, then the ice is a little harder and you might want a little sharper, and the warmer climates maybe a little bit more dull. So I think that is one thing that I do play around with a little bit, but other than that, most of my gear, I'm not messing around with it.
We welcome in Tanner Jeannot, the Boston Bruins. This is fun. We had a chance the other day to speak with Morgan Geekie, your buddy who you drive to the games with and practice with an awful lot. Tanner, you signed the big contract in the offseason. You come here. We're going to get into that. We're going to do a lot of different things. We appreciate taking time, especially, although you have a little time today. Folks, we are recording this Morning Brew with Jaffe and Razor on Snowmageddon 2026, the morning of no practice for the Bruins today. So we moved the interview up. And are you laughing at this storm, Tanner? You're from Saskatchewan, okay? You are from Oxbow, Saskatchewan. Is this nothing to you right now?
This is a lot of snow. And honestly, this is a lot like Saskatchewan with the wind that we have going on right now. The wind is just crazy. That's one thing growing up back home in Sask. It's the wind is what kills you. There's nothing to block it, and you walk outside and you get that wind, and it's I'm going to talk in Celsius here just because that's what I know. It'd be minus 30 Celsius, but it feels like minus 40 just from the wind, and it's just you can't any skin showing when you go outside. It just hurts. It's not very fun when it's like that, but right now that's kind of what we're getting. We're getting the winds. I heard it all night, just howling, and then came downstairs and saw all the snow out there. It's pretty crazy.
What was it like in Sask growing up? Give us the quick synopsis of Tanner Jeannot and what you did for fun as a kid.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in a really small town, only around 1,000 people in it. So there wasn't a whole lot going on, but I really liked it. I really like growing up in a small town, knowing everybody knows your name, and it just you build some good connections, and and a lot of really good friends that you just do everything together with every day. And you're just outside a lot. You're riding bikes. You're just at the parks. Whatever you could find something to do. We went fishing a lot and paintballing, that kind of stuff. So you're just always trying to just look for something to do and you had to use your imagination sometimes because you don't have a lot of the amenities that obviously kids growing up in the bigger centers have. So just playing a lot of sports, being outside all the time, and it was just humble beginning, I guess, just growing up and with not a lot to do, but you just found a way to have some fun with your friends.
Now, is Oxbow, and I guess I should have looked this up quickly, but is that near the border too, or close to the U.S. border? Because I know Estevan, where you played your youth hockey, is about 2 hours away from the border. Oxbow as well? Yeah,
it's really close. It's only like 15-20 minutes from the U.S. border.
Oh.
Actually, where I played a lot of my minor hockey in Estevan is even closer. That's like 10-15 minutes from the U.S. border too. So it's right down south Saskatchewan there. There's honestly there's not a whole lot that's more north of say
exactly.
5 hours north of the American border. There's not a whole bunch. There is some stuff, but most of it's kind of in that vicinity of the border. Just there's a big province of Saskatchewan that not a lot is up north, but there's some great fishing up there. Like my cousin, one of my cousins, he goes up there and fishes all the time and said it's great, and friends that do that. So
walleye, I'm assuming, or
walleye and northern pike, lots of that kind of stuff. So I haven't ever done it, but I would like to do that for sure because they say the fishing's just incredible. But yeah, most of the people are living closer to the border.
What made the decision to come to Boston? You were a pick that I talked to a lot of guys in LA. I had my buddies there, and it was a no-brainer from their point of view, and in you and what kind of a character guy you were. And I know that was the sentiment around the league, to be quite honest. So how was that decision making over the summer to come to Boston and fortunately for Bruins fans?
Yeah, it was a pretty crazy experience, being a free agent for the first time, and there's just a lot of different aspects to it that I've never experienced before. This is my first time doing it, so there was a lot to kind of break down, and I have a family, so there's also that aspect to it, and where they're going to be happy and what's good for them, but one of the biggest things going into free agency for me was I wanted to go somewhere that I felt like I was going to have an important role on a team and be able to bring, the skill set that I try to bring every day and be able to make a difference on the team. And Boston has always been a team that I thought that I would fit in really well with, just from watching them growing up and playing against them, and just the mentality that all the Boston teams that I've ever seen bring. I just always have felt that I would be a great fit for an organization like Boston. So obviously they need to want you to come too. So when we found out that they were interested, it was very exciting. And, just going through that process of going through the different options of where you could go and weighing the different pros and cons of that. It was a pretty stressful time, honestly, just trying to do that with my family. But at the end of the day, coming to the conclusion of, I felt like this was a place that I could come and make a difference and have a good role on the team. And obviously with the players that were still here after last year, they made some changes last year, but still had the Pasternaks, the McAvoys, the Swaymans, like all these guys. So there's a good core foundation here, and with the exciting young talent coming up, it seemed like it'd be a really good spot for that. And then also always coming here as a visiting team, and the city's just great. Like I've always loved coming here. It's one of my favorite places to go when I was not playing here on the road. So yeah, it all kind of just fell into place, and couldn't be happier with where I'm at. And the team's been playing really well, and yeah, I couldn't be happier. My family couldn't be happier, and so excited that I get to kind of build, the team's been building, and I'm so excited to be a part of it and see what comes for the rest of this year and years to come.
Probably not as excited as your dad, though. I read that real nice article by the Bruins great writer, by Belle Frazier, that she did much earlier in the year about how your dad, Pat, chose to be a Bruins fan from youth because his brother was a Flyers fan. So sibling rivalry, right? And so I read about how you guys announced your decision to become a Boston Bruin to him by playing the goal song when he came in through the door. So that was a great arc. You had a chance, folks. It's from much earlier in the year. Go read it. But you mentioned something, too, that I want to talk about. That you mentioned pretty stressful time being a UFA. Now, you seem, outside looking in, just a guy I get to talk to in the locker room regularly, very composed, very mellow. You don't give up. When I say give a shit, of course you do. But like, hey, if somebody wants to fight you, fine. They're going to come. Like, you're mellow about that stuff. But you're pretty intense, aren't you? Like behind the scenes, it sounds like, because even your wife in that article said you don't sleep much. You didn't sleep much during that time. Talk about the intensity of being a UFA and to why you said that.
Yeah. I think a lot of it was just, going through it for the first time. You always think about when you become a UFA, it's going to be awesome, and you're kind of holding the cards in your hand. Finally, you earn that status, and so you think about that, but you don't think about all the okay, this is our life, this is my future, this is my family's future, and it's just kind of that kind of stuff that you really have to think about. And it's I said stressful, but it's like also very exciting. Like I said, that's you have the control to make the decision, and it's very exciting to be able to control that and talk with your family about it and what would be best for you. So it was. Did
you seriously think about other teams? I'm not going to put you on the spot to name it, but were there other teams that it was coming down to, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I mean, there were definitely other teams that were interested and that we were considering. So yeah, there was process of going through what different opportunities might look like, and at the end of the day, we decided on Boston, and like I said, couldn't be happier. It's been great. So but there was definitely a process of going through it and talking with, going through my own thoughts and also talking with my wife and things like that.
Well, you talked about how well the season's been going, and coming into this season, the expectations were different this year for the first time, at least since I've been covering the team and back with the team, in that not a lot was expected out of anybody this season. And you guys have certainly proved that wrong very quickly. I'm curious if you, being the new guy, if you felt that, if that was something on your radar, and how easily it was for you to jump into that and understand your role on this team.
I mean, I think honestly, maybe being a newer guy was maybe a little bit easier than the guys that, were here for all the success. And then they went through, last year when a team changes like that, it's really hard. Like there's all the behind the scenes of, it's especially with the success that the team had, like they're saying goodbye to these guys that they've had success with and built relationships with. So that's really hard when a team changes like that. So it would definitely be hard for those guys, and coming in with a fresh face, and I was filled with excitement. It was a new opportunity for me to kind of put myself into a new team. So I was just really excited about coming in, and I knew the great talent that we still had on the team. I knew that the potential that the group could have. Yeah, like you said, there wasn't as much expectation as previous years as this team has had, but I mean, if you just look at it this year, like we're right there in every game. We've shown that we can compete with the top teams in the league, and especially this year, it's so crazy. I've never seen it this tight. Like our division is just so tight. If you make the playoffs, you have a chance to make a splash and take it for a run. So yeah, just coming in as a new guy, I think it was just excitement, and that's kind of grown as the years gone on. There was at the start there was all those talks about the expectations and stuff like that, and what the team has been, but now we're kind of just building it into what are we going to be now. Like that was the Bruins of the past, and they were great teams. It's been a great decade really for and longer for the Bruins, and now it's kind of a fresh new beginning to what it's going to be now, and we're just having a lot of fun as a whole group together, building that and establishing what we're going to be for the rest of this year and years to come.
And establishing an identity and a new culture, or reestablishing culture, perhaps a better way to put it, was so imperative for this team. Management was open about it. The piss and vinegar comment from Cam Neely when the season began, right? You have your second most points ever as a National Hockey League already. So a lot of people they talk about your physical presence. And yeah, you've got that, no question about it. Now you can pick and choose what you want to do, it seems like, out there at times. And I do want to get into the last scrap you had, but we'll get into it later, one with AJ Grimm. But you got Zadorov and Kaslik leading the league in penalty minutes. You've got a kid, a paltry, you're tied for 38th in the league. It's nothing for you right now. Yeah. But how good does it feel to be part of that crew and having those guys around to help reestablish that physical identity for the Boston Bruins? Razor, you felt it, you knew it when you played here. Like it was part of something that you've talked about it, where at times you walk into a rink and it may not always win, but you're the big bad Bruins, so to speak. And now the Bruins, albeit it's a different NHL world now, but the Bruins are considered the toughest team to have to play against physically now in the league.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely like you said, like coming in, and what I was talking about before, coming in and you're playing the Bruins, it's going to be a war, because everybody on the team bought into that mentality and that style of play. And you mentioned myself and Casty and Big Z, and we're kind of we like to lead the way, and that's part of our game, and we like to lead the way in the physicality and things like that. But it's it's everybody, and everybody on the team is buying into being hard to play against. And Marco's preached that, just we want to be the hardest team to play against and defend really well. And that's the thing too, is like being physical is not always just the big hits or the fights, and it's just being really hard checking wise, and just feeling like when the other team feels like they're just smothered and swarmed, it's really really takes a toll, and it makes it so much easier to do when everybody's buying in. Like if you're the one guy trying to go out there and make hits and cause turnovers, then it's really hard to do. This is the NHL, and guys are good at evading, escaping, moving the puck quickly. You need everybody on the same page to do that, and I think the guys have been doing a really good job. And of all buying in and doing that, and me getting to play with Casty a lot. It's a lot easier, to get that second hit after someone's, went in on the forecheck and caused they're like, oh, this guy's coming to hit me. Maybe I need to move it a little bit quicker, and it's not as crisp of a pass or maybe a bobbly puck. And that second hit is usually the easiest one to get. So it's really nice. And he's pretty fast out there too. So he's good at getting in on the forecheck. And sometimes I get to be the beneficiary of maybe not a good pass on another defenseman, and I get to make him pay. So yeah, to your point, it's just way easier when everyone buys into that. Sorry for if you hear any screaming going on, but
boys are at it. It's so good.
Yeah, but yeah, it's been great, and
they sound like some opponents that you've played against this year in the
right.
complaining about getting hit.
There must be some physicality going on up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How was your Olympic break? Your first NHL Olympic break? I'm a couple questions from that stem. One, you are infamous with your training regimen, through the charts, always the top fittest guy in camps. So did you let yourself have a couple of days off, or was it were you sprinting on the beach like Rocky? And then the other thing, did you watch the hockey? Were you in tune with what was going on over in Italy, or just over the last couple of days?
I was. Sometimes the times of the games were a little bit tough, and you kind of had to catch replays, but I was definitely watching like best on best hockey. It's the best hockey that you're ever going to watch, and I'm, as big of a fan of watching that as everybody. So I was definitely watching and cheering for guys that I know and things like that. And it was awesome. For the break, I definitely gave myself a few days to just not do anything, let the body recover. The schedule this year's been crazy, as everybody knows, and it was nice to just be able to chill out, hang out. I took the family on a little vacation and just kind of took a few days to just reset, get the body right, and then when we got back, it was back into the gym and making sure that I don't lose the legs and the lungs too much, and getting back on the assault bike and stuff like that. So, and now back skating again, practicing. It's feeling good. So yeah, definitely took a little bit of time off just to make sure your body was getting enough time to recover, because there hasn't been a lot of time to do that this year.
I want to take you back to your junior days. You say there's not too much in Saskatchewan, but there are a couple of legendary places, Moose Jaw being one of them, right? At least the lore of Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much did Tim Hunter, who was your coach for 4 years, impact you as a player, as a person, your style, your confidence? How much? And I'm assuming most of our listeners, viewers know Tim Hunter. I'm assuming, but if you don't, go check out his history. Go check out his hockey DB. This is a guy that was like you, man. And a whole different world in the NHL in those days. This was one of the toughest, baddest customers around, but he could also play. And he did. So how much did he impact your ascension as a junior hockey player, and then your ability to play in the NHL?
Yeah. I really liked him as a coach. And I kind of owe a lot to him too, because I was never drafted into the WHL or anything, and I had to come to camp and try to make a name for myself. And so I came to camp as a 17-year-old in Moose Jaw, and just tried to be as physical and stand out as much as I could, because how it is, like the eyes are on the guys that they drafted, the prospects and stuff like that. So I had to stand out in a way, and I guess he liked me, so he was the one that kind of brought me in and gave me a chance, and I had a really good 4 years with him in Moose Jaw there, and I was fortunate to play with some really good players there, and then have some really good teams. My last couple of years there, we did really well, and he how he coached wasn't necessarily how he played. Like he wanted us to be, good skilled team and stuff like that. And yeah, you would almost wouldn't even know about all his fights and
Really?
stuff.
Really?
Yeah, well, he wanted to be strong and stick up for each other and things like that. But he definitely wanted us to be a good team too, and show our skill and things like that. So yeah, I mean, he was a great mentor for me, and just not just on the ice but off the ice, and how hard you need to work and kind of the mentality you need to have to be a pro and to have a long career in hockey. And yeah, I owe him a lot. He was a good mentor to me, and yeah, it's good.
Real quick, just to follow up there, I remember talking over the years with Jeff Odgers, right? Another Sask guy.
Yeah.
And Odgie said when he was 16, he had never gotten into a fight before. And then he had to go, it was to Manitoba, to Brandon, I believe. I hope got it right. I hope I did.
Yeah.
And he and Kevin Cheveldayoff had never done it. But they had no choice when they got there. Again, different era. But
yeah.
Was that kind of the way for you? I mean, you were obviously a physical guy. You said you wanted to go and be physical, but was it a comfortable role for you heading in at that point, or was it kind of nerve-wracking? Again, like Augie says, I had no choice. I had never done it before. Next thing you know, I'm scrapping, and that became his thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was the same as me. Like, I had never been in a fight before junior, and even in the WHL, I had not that many fights. Like, I don't even know how many. Probably maybe 10 fights in my whole 4 years. Wow. And they were like not good fights. Just, you don't know what you're doing. It's like exactly like, Jeff was saying, like you've never done it before. You don't know. You just got to learn as you go. So I don't think I would say that was like part of my game until I got into pro, where again, I signed as free agent and just tried to make a name for myself and add things to your game and continue to just build your game and bring value to a team as much as you can. Just stick around as much as you can. So, and that was something that I felt I could do, I guess, and just started fighting more. And the more you fight, the more, confident and comfortable you get doing it. So just kind of continued to build it from there. But yeah, in junior, I wouldn't say that was like my game. It was definitely being physical and hitting a lot, and I guess sometimes that comes with answering the bell. But like you said, it's kind of a new era. There's not as much having to do that, I guess, especially in junior. Now in pro, there's more of having to answer and stuff. But junior, it's kind of getting out of the game, I think, there.
Yep.
What clicked for you? Like, what you scored 80 points. You had 40-40 in the dub. That's legit, right? That's and then you play a couple years pro, and then that third year pro where you played in all three leagues, right?
Yeah.
You play in the coast, you play in but you got 5 goals in 15 games in the NHL. So was it then that season that clicked, or was it something over the off season? Was it something earlier that you realized you could play in the NHL? Because we all have that, right? Everyone who makes it, unless you're David Pasternak, everybody else has kind of got a moment at some point where it's like, oh, I actually might be able to pull this off.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you mean. I don't know. Like every year, like even going back to junior, I think my first year of junior, I had 1 goal, like 5 points. It was nothing. And then you just kind of continue to work. And like I said, keep adding to your game and just build your game up. And I just kind of continued to get better and better just from, practicing, working hard, learning from other skilled players and just watching. And the higher levels you go, the more you see and the more you can learn. So I just kind of tried to be a sponge as much as I could and just continue to get better and better every year. And then, like you said, though, like you're always, until you get to the NHL, you're always like, oh, am I good enough? Am I, if I was there, would I be able to, keep up and do it. And then you finally get that shot, and then you get in, and it definitely helps having success early to do it. But yeah, when I got there, I just kind of tried to continue to play my game, be physical, and go hard to the net. And I was successful early on. So I was like, yeah, well, I can be here. I can definitely do this. And then that year was a funny year where I played in all 3 leagues. That was that shortened season right after COVID stopped the season. And then when we started coming back, the East Coast League was actually the first league to start up after that pause from COVID. So Nashville sent a lot of the younger guys to go play with the Florida Everblades is where our affiliate was. So we played like 5 games there, and then from there we went to NHL camp, and then we did camp in Nashville, and then I got sent down. And it was even crazy when I got sent down because we were sharing a team with Nashville and Carolina in Chicago.
Yeah, Geeks was talking about that the other day.
So yeah, that's where
you guys were hanging out together, right?
Time.
Yeah,
it was just
so
the
funny.
craziest setup because like we actually had to split the lineup where it was 6 forwards from Nashville, 6 forwards from Carolina,
So
and
funny.
same with the D, 3 and 3 for the D, and 1 goalie. And we had 2 different head coaches on the bench. It was a crazy year, and we were playing games in the Chicago Wolves practice arena, and oh my god,
Disaster.
I'm so glad that we'll never have to go through that stuff again. But I guess in reality, it was kind of a good opportunity for me just because I got on the power play, and I had success on the power play, and then that's what kind of got me called up at the end of the year in Nashville there. And they were in a push for the playoffs and came in and had success and helped get that team into the playoffs. And then we I got the experience of playing against Carolina in the first round there. And then that just kind of led into my next year, and just continued to have that confidence and keep working hard. And I got put into a really good role and got a lot of opportunity in Nashville. And yeah, I made the most of it for sure. So it was a fun time to come up, and all. It's always so fun to see guys breaking into the league and the young guys, and they're experiencing it for the first time. And because I just remember feeling of, wow, I'm in the NHL. I've worked so hard to get here. And then just every time you see it, it just brings those feelings back of the accomplishment. Like everybody's road to the NHL is different, but it's always hard. So when you see someone finally living their dream of getting to play in the NHL, it brings back those feelings and memories, and it's awesome to see.
And you had a monster season, 21-22. You look at your numbers: 24 goals, 130 PIMs, 41 total points. I don't know how you did it all. I mean, you were a busy man that year. You had a monster season. A couple of years later, you're involved then in a mega deal going from Nashville to Tampa. 1 player and 5 draft picks.
Yeah.
What was more, I'll use the term stressful, maybe it's not the word. Like, how about the pressure? You talked about the decision of being a free agent, this opportunity, et cetera, but that is a huge mega deal too. Did you feel the pressure? How did you take that deal and handle that as a young player who was wanted so much by another team, a pretty darn good team as well at that time?
Yeah, well, obviously the first reaction is like, wow, like they really want to get me, so that you feel grateful for that, and like obviously you're bringing some kind of value that another team wanted to do that trade to get you. So that was just I also surprised. Like I wasn't expecting to be moved from Nashville at all. Like I had no clue that was going to happen. Just talking with my agent and people that I was close to in the organization, just no clue at all that was going to happen. So there was a lot going on, like just shock. We were on the road. I had to call my wife, and we had our first son at the time, who was young at the time. So, okay, yeah, hey, we're gonna be moving. So there was just a lot going on. As far as like the feeling pressure and stuff, I don't know if it was there's a lot of like noise that goes along with it, and you try not to, think about that, and you just try to bring your game the best you can. And that's all I was trying to focus on. And you can never like control how people are going to see something. And, maybe people see that and then they start comparing to other players that have been traded for less, that have more points, or, whatever it may be. So everyone's going to look at it differently, and you just have to block out that noise. Like it's doesn't mean anything to me personally, to how they're going to look at it. I just want to bring the value that these guys are trading for, and in my game and what I can bring. So that's all I tried to do in Tampa. And I really enjoyed my time there, and I just, like I said, I just tried to bring my game and what I feel like I can bring success to a team. So that's all I was focused on after that trade. Tried blocking out the noise as much as you can, and obviously you hear some things, but I've been pretty good at not listening to the noise and stuff, and just focused on what I do, focus on my family, my team, and what I can do for them.
Start finishing things up here. Talk about what noise this team has to block out and for this stretch run. You guys are in the playoff spot. You're in a great spot. You've been playing great hockey since Christmas, especially. How do you guys come out of the break prepared, ready, and how do you finish this season off to, like you said earlier in the show, get yourself in the mix, because there's no automatics in the Eastern Conference. So you can go on a run very easily.
Yeah. I think that we just need to continue. We haven't heard any noise outside of our room the whole year. Like,
yeah,
that, we don't care what people outside of our own organization's expectations are. And obviously we put expectations on ourselves, and we're going to do everything we can to, accomplish those. And everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to make the playoffs. Everyone wants to go on a run. And that's, with being a Boston Bruin and the greatness of this organization, that is what is expected. So we already have all those expectations. We don't need, to hear the outside noise on it. And we're just going to continue to build our game. Like I said earlier in the show, we've proven that we can compete with top teams in the league when we're playing our game. And, some things lately, like the penalties we've got a lot of penalties that we can clean up and things like that. But when we're not taking a bunch of penalties and being hard on ourselves in the penalty box, we're a really hard team, and we're a really hard team to beat. So, and like you said, the East is so tight. If we, just continue to build and we get into the playoffs, it's anybody's for the taking this year. It feels like, just because it is so tight. So we're just going to continue to build our game, play the way we want to play, really hard defensively and hard to play against, and clean up the penalties, and just take it day by day, game by game.
Last question for you. I said I got to mention, I was going to ask you about it. I want to get inside the head of Tanner Jeannot just a little bit. You and I had what I thought was a real fascinating conversation about a month ago, but particularly the Florida Panther game. Maybe you were jealous that Swayman got into a fight against Tampa. I don't know. Were you getting into it? You decided, and I've watched it a few times, the fight with A.J. Greer against Florida, a game right before the break that was pretty freaking nasty. It was for many reasons, obviously, the McAvoy hit, etc. Just to wrap up the show here, take us into the mindset of what you were thinking when you made that happen, and we'll wrap it up because the kids are right there ready for Dad again as well.
Let's go, Dad.
Yeah, they're ready to get going, doing something, cooped up in the house.
Don't blame them. So where was your mindset in that one? Because you've let a lot of guys come to you, but you looked in that one more than happy to get it going with the former Bruin.
Yeah. It was, like you said, it was intense game, lots going on. They're obviously a really physical team too, so it just was a moment that I felt, it was after the hit on Charlie that we weren't very happy about, and it was just a moment in the game that I felt I could make a difference and stick up for my team a little bit. And if physicality was going to be getting ramped up, then I want to be the guy that's going to take it to the next level like that. So, me being a guy that fights more often than a lot of guys, I know who I can go to that I might have a chance that they'll say yes. And so I saw him on the ice, and I knew he's a player that plays physical and tries to, play on the line like that. So just went over to him and grabbed him, and it just eventually turned into a fight, and just tried to make a spark for the team, I guess, and stick up for the guys and take the physicality to the next level like that.
Well, you went right and left on that one. You switched it up in there a couple of times and everything. It was when I say a fun game, meaning it was as intense as could be, right? We didn't know what to expect that right before the break, and it was intense. It was fun. Bruins fans wish you guys got the 2 points, but it was a nice comeback to say the least. Tanner, great stuff. We could go on and on. You've got kids to take care of. You've got a new puppy to take care of, folks. He's got 2 dogs, couple of kids, a snowstorm he's dealing with. So we enjoyed the 45 minutes with you here on Morning Brew with Jaffe and Razor. Really appreciate it. Hopefully we can, do it again. But listen, great stuff. Great to have you as a Boston Bruin. Keep having fun, buddy. And, we'll see you at the rink very soon.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
All right, it's going to wrap up this Morning Brew with Jaffe and Razor. Everybody, thank you again. Thanks to Tanner Jeannot. Great stuff. Bruins coming back with their next game on Thursday night against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Razor, and I'll be back with regular shows. And everybody, enjoy your coffee.